Welcome back to another episode of Mildly Thriving. I'm Kimberly.
I'm Meredith.
And today, we are asking the question, are you in love with him or just addicted to him? Dun, dun, dun.
Addicted.
Addicted.
It's definitely that one.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I think in a lot of cases it is, but by no means are we experts in this. We've definitely been through it, but we're gonna talk about it and make you aware of it, and then you're gonna have to go talk to your therapist about it.
We're just coming up with a hypothesis. You get to do the scientific method. We're gonna open the topic.
Yeah, no, I think it's a very real thing because I Googled it, but I did prepare.
Google is always right,
of course. Yeah. So today's quote. This is for the ones who know he's bad for them, but can't quite let go. So we've all, I just want to preface this by saying, if you feel called out in this episode, which we know Meredith is going to feel called out, it's okay, because we've all been there. You're not alone, and it's just hard for us to, realize what's going on when we're in it.
Love makes us do crazy things.
Addiction makes us do crazy things.
Oh, yes.
It's, okay.
It's true.
So I have a little monologue.
Okay.
I'm going to read to you.
Oh.
And we know
it's your turn to read.
We know how well I can read. So
you can read great. You just always make me read to you.
Yeah, I love being read to. And one time I was driving and I made Meredith read the menu at this place that we were going for dinner.
The whole thing.
The whole thing.
Ingredients to sandwiches and everything. And then, now, I am the official reader of documents.
Yeah, well, that's because you can read. Good.
Well, I'll take it as a compliment, and I'll try not to cry later.
Yeah. Okay. Start the dramatic music.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. I've had this theory, ping-ponging around in my brain for a while. And the theory is this. Sometimes we're not actually in love with a guy, but addicted to him. So I finally decided to do some digging into this theory, and it turns out it's actually a thing, and it's called emotional addiction. Okay. So there you are. Barbecue sauce on your... Wait. Sorry, wrong example.
But I was. No. The millennials will get it.
Yeah. If you watch Vine, which actually that was originally from Orange is the New Black.
Oh, that's right. I
forgot. I rewatched Orange is the New Black.
It was summer. Red, wasn't it?
Orange is the New Red?
Red, the character from Orange is the New Black.
No, it wasn't. It was, I don't remember any of their names.
It's been a long time.
I rewatched it last summer. It's been a year.
Okay.
Anyway, okay,
moving on.
Back to my monologue. So you meet someone. You feel pulled to them. You're attracted. Maybe even a little bit obsessed. But it's not because they're consistent or kind or good for you, but because your nervous system has learned to crave the chaos of the chemical spikes this person causes in your brain.
Are you my therapist?
Yes. Yes, I can read your mind.
Damn it.
So the highs feel really high, but the lows are brutal. But then you're on a high again. And then the low is brutal. And somehow, that feels like passion. It almost feels maybe like fate, like you're just drawn to this person.
Butterflies? It was meant to be.
Butterflies, fireworks, you feel all of these things. And in a way, we've been conditioned to believe that passion is what makes a relationship. But it's not love. Real love feels safe, and it's not butterflies that makes you anxious. It's a peace that makes you exhale. And if you have to earn his affection, walk on eggshells, or feel abandoned after every good moment, that's not chemistry, that's addiction. Meredith is giving me a very glaring look.
If my hair was down, I'd be twirling it right now in a nervous way. And
she doesn't like this. Okay, so that is I'm going to get off my soapbox now. But yeah, let's talk about what emotional addiction actually feels like.
exactly what you described.
Yeah. So it's a cycle. It's attraction, and then there's a dopamine spike, which dopamine is the feel good, I feel happy, I'm on cloud nine chemical in our brains. And then you withdraw. So you're literally going through like the withdrawal, you feel low, you feel really sad, and then you repeat. And then you just kind of stay in this cycle, right? And like this can happen in relationships, it can happen in situationships, it can happen in friendships, it can happen in marriages. Like it doesn't have to be exclusive to like one type of relationship, right? But most commonly we see it with like the guy that is unavailable. And you are like, oh my God, he's so hot. I'll make him love me.
Oh my God.
Okay, so let's elaborate more on this example. So he finally calls you after he's been MIA for a little while. Or he makes you laugh, he makes you feel sexy, feel wanted, or he confides in you, or something else that makes you feel good, right? And you're on cloud nine. But then he disappears again. He gets distant. He breaks up with you. He tells you he's not ready for a relationship, or whatever the excuse. And then you feel like garbage. And just when you're feeling better, he comes out of the woodwork.
Just
again.
when you call your therapist. No,
Just when
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, just when you think you're doing great. So there's like an inconsistency or like breadcrumbing that's done, and it keeps us stuck because they give you just enough that you're like, oh yeah, like oh my gosh, I can make him love me. I can change him. I think there's an element of that. Or they just give you this attention, and when they pay attention to you because they're busy or they're super cool or they're, whatever the thing is, and they are paying attention to you, it makes you feel so good, right? And then there's also sometimes this person is maybe someone that you admire or feels maybe out of your league, or you just think that they're so cool or you're so attracted to them, but you just want them to want you. Or sometimes we're in a place in our lives where we just want someone to want us, and that's the person that we have picked. You're so quiet.
I don't even have any funny comments. I can't be funny. This is so on the nose and describes what.
So you've had a relationship like this in the past?
Yes, yeah. I have. To a T.
I feel like we all have.
And I don't want to I don't want to derail us because I'm really good at that.
Oh yeah.
But I would just like to make a quick hypothesis of, do you think that maybe people that are neurodivergent or have ADHD might be more susceptible to stuff like this because that inconsistency in their nervous system is normal, and like the dopamine fluctuation is already there, and there is a correlation between people with ADHD and addiction because it helps balance out the dopamine levels. And I think maybe, I don't know, it makes the highs feel more high and the lows feel more low.
Well, Meredith, in my expert opinion, I have no fucking idea. But
okay, fair. I'm not trying to I don't mean to keep taking it back to that topic, but I was just like, man, do you think maybe that's why I got over the bullshit, because I finally got medicated?
Honestly, it could be. I mean, maybe. You're also working with a therapist and like you're trying to sort things out. And I do think at some point, I think people can stay in this this pattern or this cycle for their whole lives. Like there are some people that like this is their marriage and they do this for their entirety of their marriage. I would have. Yeah.
There was a time where I would have.
But you're not now.
I know. And it does get better, folks. There are people out there that will make you feel safe and will not make your nervous system feel like chaos. I promise. And you still have physical and sexual attraction too. It can all be in one.
It's amazing when you end up in a relationship where you're like, oh, this feels safe, and I'm not like, I got off the roller coaster and I left the park.
You shut that fence. You boarded it up.
And I left and I did not buy another ticket.
Oh, man.
And you're doing the same thing.
I am.
You're going to go to the beach instead.
Wow, that's really appropriate.
What? Why? Oh. Yeah. See? Huh. Yeah.
See?
Yeah. So I wanted to give us some examples of these types of relationships from like popular culture. And that's what I forgot was my list. But I have one good example.
Okay.
And it's great. And I think anyone in our age group will know this example.
Oh. Oh, like fake characters.
Yes.
Oh.
In pop culture, I guess. Was that
it
not
Grey's
pop
Anatomy?
culture? No.
Okay, then tell me now.
No, keep guessing. I just want to make you feel bad. No, it's Big and Carrie from Sex and the City.
Why the fuck didn't I
don't know
guess
why
that?
you didn't think that. Fuck. I've already talked about Sex and the City. I talked about my I'm rewatching it, and I'm now on season 6.
Damn, that was fucking fast,
Yeah,
bitch.
I have hobbies and stuff.
We have lives.
I have friends. But the episode that I have diarrhea example.
Oh, yeah.
Anybody can use it.
Please do, and please tell us.
Yeah.
Tell us your stories.
Yeah. So in that episode, Miranda's on a date with some guy, and he was like super into her, and then all of a sudden he's like kind of not, and then they go outside, and they're like kind of saying goodbye, and she's like, "Are you coming? Like, I thought we were gonna, and he's like, "I can't." She's like, "What changed?" And he's like, and she's like, "Just be honest." And he's like, "I have diarrhea," and then he runs away. So see, it can be used in real life. They did it on the show. So, yeah. Okay. So Big and Carrie. I didn't watch Sex and the City when it first came out.
Neither did I. I watched it way later.
I didn't watch it until I was in my 30s.
Same.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I feel like everyone had seen it, and then
I'd seen like random episodes on TV, but I never watched it through. I'll be honest, I don't think I've made it to season 6 yet. I've made it through at least the first 3 seasons.
Season 6 is kind of annoying. Carrie's really annoying, especially with... Anyway, the Big and Carrie dynamic is such a good example of this type of relationship where you meet someone and you're really attracted to them and they're not available. But they keep kind of like breadcrumbing you and keeping you around, and then like she thinks that their relationship is progressing, and she's like trying to leave her stuff at his place, and she thinks she got away with it, and then he shows up the next day with a bag of her stuff, and he's like, "Here, you left this at my house." And she's like, "Oh."
I've done that.
Yeah.
I've left my stuff.
And?
No, it worked, but...
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Just saying.
Well, I mean, there comes a point in a relationship where that happens, but anyway. So the way that this works is Carrie was super attracted to Big. He's like good looking, he's successful, he's kind of charismatic, and he kind of has enough. He like gives her enough attention and shows up, and he's kind of mysterious, and he's telling her and signaling to her in a lot of ways that like he doesn't actually want like this full-on relationship, but then he does other things where he's like, stay the night, or let's go on a trip together, or let's have an affair, and like, whatever. And she gets just enough, and then he just lets her down. And then she will like try to get off the roller coaster and leave the amusement park. And he pulls up outside and he's like, "Girl, where were you going? Get on back. You know you didn't want to leave early." I was going to have a few other examples, but I just remember people being like, "I want my Big, and I want blah, blah, blah." And then when you actually watch it and you look at it in this lens of, I don't know, being an adult, you're like, what the hell? This is horrible. And this is the example that people think is like, okay. And then in the end, not spoiler alert, they actually end up getting married after he leaves her at the altar. And it's like...
I have seen the movie.
Oh, okay.
But yeah. It's funny, even with like the super charismatic people that everyone loves, people aren't stupid, and they still see more than you think they do. And I mean,
Do you mean people around you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even if they love both of you, I've had multiple people be like, what are you doing? Like, obviously, we don't have any ill feelings towards either of you. We love you both, but like, this clearly isn't good for you.
Yeah, the two of you together is not a good component, or it's not a good match.
Yeah.
Well, and then to keep using Sex and the City as an example, he's very rare, like is very rarely around her friends, like,
Oh yeah.
you know, and her friends knew, and when she told them that she was getting back together, they're like, I'm not, like, Miranda freaks out at her and it's like, I'm not picking you up off the bathroom floor for the 20th time. So I think people around you might get more tired first, but they can see it. They're not going through those dopamine spikes and, you know, not having the chemical reactions.
And I'm just lucky that I had a lot of people in my corner that were like, I will handle this situation however it is that you would like me to. It's like, if you want me to support this, I'll support it. If you want to leave, I'll support that too. I'm going to tell you how I feel about it, but I'm never once going to be mean or inappropriate or not be there for you.
Yeah.
You have to decide on your own when it's time to go. And I don't know, I'm very grateful for that, because that's what got me through it. Because, I mean, leaving is hard. It's so hard. Even when you think you're in a good place, sometimes that comfort of knowing what to expect is better than starting over or having to go cold turkey, since we're talking about it as an addiction.
Because you're literally addicted to them. Like, there's chemicals in your brain are telling you, like, yeah, this is great. And then when you're feeling low and not feeling good, like, you need a hit of that.
Mm-hmm.
And
I could never do no contact until this time.
And now you've left the amusement park.
I'm gone.
You've left the state.
Maybe one day.
To segue into our next topic, why do people stay in this situation?
Oof.
So there's just enough attention or just enough kindness or big gestures. Like, it's just enough.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, to make you feel special. And because it's something that is rare, it makes it even more special, because they don't just hand out their love and their kindness. When you do get it, there was a shortage, and, you know, now you've finally gotten it, right?
Oh, yeah. And, like, you've seen, or maybe you know a little bit about them and their past, and part of it's like, I did it. I won.
So do you think that there's just, like, a savior complex or a I can change him complex?
Oh, for
like,
sure.
element to this?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do too.
And, you know, not proud to admit it, but it's a good feeling. It's
Of course.
I'm worth changing for.
Yeah.
And in the end, like, it's not that you're not worth changing for. It's just they're not changing.
No, they're not. But your brain is kind of misleading you, because you're spiking and you're coming down and all of these things.
Yes.
Then there's the element of, like, the fantasies of who he could be.
Oh, that keeps you holding on for so long, because you idealize in your mind what it could be like if all of the things that you're asking for actually happen. But in reality, they're not. And in one of my relationships, one of my love languages is gift giving and receiving. Like, I love giving gifts. I love receiving gifts. And I don't say that as, like, a materialistic thing. Like, you could get me a candy bar from a gas station without me asking, and I'm like, oh my God, you thought of me. Thank you.
You were so excited about the sticker that I got you.
I fucking love that, because you thought of me enough to get me a sticker.
Well, and you had also told me that gift giving was a thing that was important to you, and I'm not a gift giver. I'm not, like, gifts is not my thing. But I was like, this is important to Meredith. She told me this. I'm going to, like, get her.
It fucking made my day, and always will. And this person didn't do that. And, you know, I don't think that was, like, completely intentional, but the thought was never there. Mm-hmm. And it was always there for me. But I can count on one hand the amount of times that this person showed up with anything random for me or, like, did something for me. And in the moment, I was always, like, so elated. And I would tell people, and I still remember to this day it was that exciting. But in reality, it was, they thought of me at the grocery store and got me something nice. And I found out later for probably 2 out of 3 of the incidents that I can think of that they didn't think of this on their own. A friend did the same thing, and they're like, oh yeah, that would be nice if I did that for Meredith too.
Oh, wow. So you got that breadcrumb.
Yeah. But in the moment, I was like, oh my God, you've never done this. Like, I must be so special.
Yeah.
And here we are.
But it's like it's like that breadcrumb, and it's just enough. Another reason that we stay is, I don't know, childhood attachments, but I don't want to dig into that because I have no idea. But
yeah, I'd have to ask my therapist. But I do think it's true. I think that that's part of the nervous system reaction is when you grow up in an environment that is chaotic, which I did, that chaos is comfortable and it's what you know. And so I think you're seeking that. And I think I was, because I'm not specific. Like, yes, I do have an example that comes to the forefront of my mind, but I'm not talking about one relationship. I've been in more than one relationship like this. And those are the type of people that I sought out. The people that I had to beg for their love. Mm-hmm. And I didn't do it on purpose, but then I would tell myself in the end, like, I would find people that were nice and good for me, and then I would, like, there was something about it that made me not attracted to them. Mm-hmm. And it was like, there's nothing wrong with this person. They're an attractive person. They're, you know, our sex life is good. We communicate well. Our friends are friends. And there was still something about it that was just like, I can't do it.
Well, and it's hard to tell, like, is it because there wasn't that passion and that fire or whatever that
I was bored because I needed the chaos.
Yeah, that addiction, or is it just like, this person was wonderful, it just wasn't the right fit? But I think
I'm sure there's an element of both.
Yeah.
But I, like, early on, like, now I think that I'm going to therapy enough and understanding the dynamics a little bit better and where this stuff comes from. But I do think early on, especially in my early 20s, it was like, ugh, I don't like you because, like, it could be a completely normal, attractive person, but I don't like you because it's easy.
Yeah.
That's it. It's bored. I'm bored.
Yeah. I need that. Those fireworks and those butterflies and that inconsistency. And also I think there's that element of the, I can change him, or sometimes there's the, I got this person to want me.
Yeah. Yes.
And I know that I've walked my friends through many a relationship. I've been in relationships where I'm like, do I actually want this person, or do I just want them to want me? And, like, when you ask that question, you know, sometimes people are like, ugh. And I'm like, I'm like, you don't have to answer the question. Just think about it. And sometimes it's as simple as, like, I just want the attention. I want someone to pay attention to me now. And this person is giving me just enough. So interesting.
Yeah. Hindsight's 2020.
And then the other thing is, we kind of talked about this with the Carrie and Big example, is that, like, we've been fed since we were very little that passion, you know, breaking up, getting back together, grand gestures, like, these are all normal things. And that's just chaos. It doesn't have to be like that.
can be healthy.
Yeah.
Because, frankly, that's unhealthy.
Yeah.
I do feel like I should say that I don't think that any of these people were or are inherently bad people.
Mm-mm.
And I hope that that comes across, because I like talking about this, because I think that a lot of people go through it, and it helps me, being on this end of it, to like process what happened. But I don't like the idea of talking poorly about any of them, and that's not the intention I'm trying to bring. I think that they're all inherently good people. They have their own traumas, and they should be working on those things. And we were all at different points in our lives, and our traumas just fit just right. And I hope that all of them have or are worked on those things. Because I'm trying to. I would like to own up to my part in this. Like, I still went back every single time.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, yes. And in this relationship, or in this, these examples, we're kind of blaming the guy.
Yeah, that's what I feel like. And that's not my intention.
Yeah, because there's two people. Carrie was just, to go back to the Sex and the City example, Carrie was just as bad as Big, in that she did that to other people. So she was on the other side of the dynamic. She did that to other people she dated. But also, she keeps coming back. She's, in a way, allowing this cycle to continue, instead of saying, like, you're really great, I'm really attracted to you, but, like, I want to get off the roller coaster and leave the park now. She never said that.
Okay.
So it takes two people to tango, and until one or both of you recognize that, the cycle is there.
Yeah.
And take steps, I guess, to stop it. And sometimes that doesn't work. Like,
yeah.
You may not be able to pull a healthy, consistent, loving relationship out of a dynamic like this. But the good news is that people who have been in this dynamic, if they are willing to work on it and work on themselves, they can get into a relationship that is happy and healthy and consistent and can meet their needs.
Yes.
So,
I hope everyone that I'm talking about is in a good place in their lives, and I hope that they find good things, because I think that's all that all of us want. And I've played my part in every single relationship. It's not always the other person's fault. So
yes, and I think acknowledging that is important, because a relationship dynamic is defined by two people.
Yes.
Not just one person.
Yeah.
And it's one person behaving a certain way and the other person allowing that person to behave that way and accepting it and continuing to come back to that relationship. So, or continuing to be in the relationship. So, how do people get out of these relationships or start to break free?
You got to take a look at yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, not in an assigning blame way, in a, where am I in my life or my mental health journey that I am allowing this to happen? I'm clearly uncomfortable and nothing is changing. Maybe I should start with me. And
yeah,
I mean, I started with therapy.
Yeah.
I started therapy in the beginning of my cycle, and I continued with the cycle, and it took years to get there.
Yeah.
But man, it didn't just take therapy. I also think having a solid support system is huge. And I was at a point that I knew I had gone far enough in therapy that I had the coping mechanisms to handle it myself. And on the days when I knew it was going to be bad, I had the support system that was going to be there for me. So I was no longer afraid to not have this person to fall back on.
Yeah, I think that's huge.
But I'm not going to pretend that it didn't take a long time and a lot of work to get there. So
yeah. So I have a couple I have a couple tips in my show notes.
Ooh.
So one of the things that I learned is that you have to understand the difference between these terms, which are regulation and chemistry.
Oh.
Are you familiar with these?
Nope.
I was also not, but I learned about them. So the distinction is one of the core like misunderstandings that many people have when they're caught in kind of one of these cycles. And honestly, this could you could go down a rabbit hole with this, and this could be a whole episode by itself, but I'm just going to give you guys like the Cliff Notes version because I'm not an expert. But once you start to notice this, like you can't really like go back. So, okay, so chemistry is that like intense magnetic pull towards someone. It's butterflies, the racing heart, and like the obsession like focus. It often feels undeniable and uncontrollable, like you guys were destined to meet and like be together or whatever. And chemistry thrives on unpredictability, the drama, the extremes, the highs and the lows. And then regulation is about emotional stability and nervous system calm. It's a healthy and secure relationship that kind of regulates you, and it makes you feel safe and steady and consistent. So when you start looking at your relationships and friendships and, even family dynamics through these kind of terms, it kind of shifts your focus.
Yeah.
And changes the way that you think about it. So I think knowing those terms, because in my research, like these terms were thrown out and I was like, I don't actually know what the difference is between those. And so I looked them up and I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
To learn about those things. Some other strategies is talking to your therapist.
BetterHelp sponsor us.
Yeah. Like distance and no contact, but that's really hard. And until you're ready to do that and essentially going cold turkey, you have to you've got to have those nicotine patches and you've got to be ready for that,
I know. I do want to say really quick that I understand that no contact is impossible in every situation. Like people
That's
have
true.
kids and there's other things that play into that. But I will say that is 100% a factor. If you don't have those other things preventing you from doing no contact, like that is the thing that I blocked on everything. You're not seeing what the other person's doing. You're not constantly worried about who they're talking to, waiting to see their posts on social media. I'm now at the point where I don't think about it, nor do I care. But,
yeah.
And you'll have those moments where you, break down. You're like, I want to know what they're doing. But, accept it and move on. And, yeah.
I'm a big fan of blocking, of, out of sight, out of mind.
Yep.
And if I can't see it, it can't hurt me.
Yep.
I guess ignorance is bliss. And I think sometimes it takes a while to get to that mentality of blocking, because it seems like the mature thing to do is to be able to kind of maintain a string and, still have a bit of a connection or whatever. And
you can make excuses like, oh, but we have so many friends in common and blah, blah, blah. And you know what? I've learned your friends are going to be there still. They'll understand.
Yes.
And if they don't, then...
And blocking someone, or even if you're in group chats with them or whatever, that's fine. You can still block them and they can't see your messages. They can't, you can't see theirs, I don't think. It doesn't matter. Just do it. And they don't exist anymore. And then shifting your mindset or rewriting the story of this wasn't the person that got away. It's, I'm grateful for that relationship. I'm grateful for that experience. I had this relationship. I was loved. I felt love. I loved someone. And then you just be grateful and then bye-bye.
Mm-hmm.
And then this was a tip that I found that I thought was interesting, and it was journaling what the relationship actually looks like versus the fantasy.
Ooh, I did actually do that.
Oh, you did?
For a little while.
How was it?
It was when I was seeing Colorado Boy. And
okay.
So in that, like, break. At the time, I felt nervous and a little bit guilty because I was, like, still... We weren't really, like, fully no contact. Like, we were still friends on social media. We still occasionally talked. And it just, like... In the moment, it felt good to get out and, like, actually say these things. But then after the fact, once I stopped doing it once I stopped hanging out with Colorado Boy and we had started hanging out again. It was just, I was like, oh, now I feel guilty for saying the things that I said. So, point being, maybe do that when you're fully ready and fully gone. Or maybe you're better than me. But it was like, in the moment, I was like, yes, I'm getting these things out. But then I would go back to like, but am I just being mean? Or am I like, I feel guilty? Or maybe I saw this differently. Or maybe I was incorrect.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? I was still in that mindset of like, maybe this is my fault.
Yeah. No, I get that.
Sorry.
And you're right. Like, you have to be ready to look at things from, an outside perspective of what is this relationship actually like? What is this dynamic actually versus the fantasy that I've made up in my head, or maybe an expectation of this is going to be an incredible romance. This is going to be a notebook kind of love, and comparing what your expectations and or fantasy are to what that relationship actually looks like.
Yeah. I just don't think I was ready yet, and I do think it could potentially be good. I'm also terrible at being consistent with things like that.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and I also think sometimes, and we kind of talked about this earlier, is that then we focus on, it's almost like assigning blame. And it's
Yeah, I was like, oh no, I feel like I'm blaming him for all of these things, but maybe this was my fault, or like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah. No, yeah. Okay. Well, I would like to be done talking about this topic.
That's fine.
Are you over it?
No. Let's keep going.
Okay. So we kind of learned about this, and this is a point where just having an awareness of this is a big deal, because it helps you look at relationships kind of through a different lens. And letting go is a process, and we've all done this.
I say, you're not alone.
Yeah, you're not alone. We've all done this. I have a couple quotes with you.
Ooh.
Or I have a couple quotes for you.
Oh, yes.
You didn't get over him overnight. You just have to stop going back. Scratch that.
That's my noise of the day.
You don't have to hate him to let go, but you do have to love yourself enough to leave. Yeah.
I'm only making the noises because I know they're right.
Okay, so on that note, I hope that this episode brought you some awareness, and you're going to take this information and talk to your therapist, because this is as far as we can help you.
Hey, I'm going to call it personal progress because I made it through the whole conversation without crying. So that's a personal win. But, sometimes it just feels good to know that someone else has been through the same things that you have.
I feel like we've all been in a relationship, whether it's big or small, that has had some kind of dynamic like this, because we want passion. And I think now, once you have the awareness, you can do with it as you want. If you want to continue to be in these kinds of relationships, then so be it.
Yeah.
More power to you.
Yeah.
So
we'll still be here either way.
Yeah. If you have a story about this and you'd like to share it with us, You can send us a DM on Instagram. I think we have an email address, but I can't remember what it is. So,
remember, guys, mildly thriving
Yes.
over here, guys and gals.
yeah. But you can send us a DM on our Instagram, which is at mildly thriving pod. All one word.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can also, like, if you want to, I feel like if you've gotten to this point, maybe you liked the episode.
Yeah.
If not, why are you still here? Why are you doing this to yourself?
Do you feel bad for us?
Yeah.
Sometimes I do. No. Look, I know we're all over the place. It's fine.
Yeah. You can leave us a review, I think. Or you can share this episode with a friend who is currently in this cycle, or a friend who's not. It doesn't matter. Just share it with somebody. And if you want to use this as a way to call them out, we're totes fine with that.
Man, towards the end, I was like TikToking it up. Just like, oh my gosh, this person knows what I've been through. This person knows what I've been through. And, after a while, the algorithm's like, we're going to send you all of the relationship videos. And I was like, oh my God. It did feel therapeutic to be like, I'm not alone.
Yeah. You're not alone. Almost every experience, there's somebody else out there who's had it. So, yeah.
Even diarrhea.
Yes.
It always comes back.
So, on that note, we just want to remind you that mildly thriving is thriving enough. We will see you on the next episode.
Yeet.
Okay, bye.